Bonjour mes amis, hi guys, collection review. It's been a long time, I haven't done one, so I want to thank Nico for sharing his core collection with us, asking a bit my opinion, my advice, and in watches, we all make mistakes, we all do good things, bad things, but at the end of the day, it's all a matter of taste. So my taste might be different than yours. But this collection actually hits the right spot in many ways, and I'm calling it a logical progression. Anyway, Nico is 35, so still a very young man, already has a very nice collection. I bet you all want to know what he's doing. He works in IT for a pharma company, and I bet you all want to know what was his first watch. It was a Flick Flack when he was 7. And yeah, in 2020, he got really serious with the watches. Probably got a few Seikos and all that before that. But 2020, he got the first serious one. It's the Black Bay 58. Same thing. I remember going to the authorized dealer myself, and I got that watch, and I was really happy. I picked mine up actually around the same time, around 2020, maybe 2019. But I had been collecting watches before that. I just missed out on the 58 when it came out, and then it took a long time for it to be available at the shops. Great choice, just a fantastic watch if you just had that. Even at 35, it's a perfect watch, isn't it? And in a way, each watch in this collection could be one perfect watch. One thing I have to say here is that Nico only wants to buy brand new from the AD, and looking at the collection, I'm supposing that it's all maybe from the same AD, at least the Rolex and Tudor watches. Anyway, next. He went to a Zenith Chronomaster Original, so it's got the tenth of a second complication of the Chronomaster Sport, but came out after, and it's the original, so it's more like the classic look of the Zenith. It's really a beautiful watch. I love this one, and it's the look that you associate with Zenith, most definitely, more than the Chronomaster Sport, which is a bit a bit more like a Daytona. Very cool watch. This one here pairs down that look while keeping the complication. Super watch, and quite a jump into in terms of prices. So maybe he got that one at the same AD as the Tudor, because next he got from the AD Rolex Explorer, the 36 millimeter reference, I believe, 124270. Very cool. I'm wearing the 39 millimeter. Again, what an amazing piece, and super simple. So he has the diver now, the chronograph, classic watches, and a super classic simple Explorer, fully loomed dial. Just such a beautiful watch to wear all the time. And every time I wear mine, I just forget every other watch in existence, and just truly enjoying it. And to me, it is as amazing as a Royal Oak, for example. We'll talk again about the Royal Oak in this review, because the Royal Oak is that Royal Oak case, and the all the Rolex are pretty much are the Oyster case. Each brand has its shtick, and when people say, "Oh, AP is just a Royal Oak," well, Rolex is just the Oyster, right? And they put a bunch of things on it, but they managed to give each watch such a strong identity. It's interesting how people don't pick up on the fact that they're pretty much all the same watch at the heart of it, and the heart of it is the OP, and with a bit more flair, the Explorer. Wonderful progression here. Now I'm guessing maybe if we stay at the same AD, he wanted to get his spending up to get the next Rolex. So he got the Jaeger LeCoultre, but maybe I'm wrong. So this one is the reverse. So two-face, small seconds, but maybe he got that one at the boutique. And when Nico says he only wants to buy brand new at the boutique, at the AD, I hope you get the Jaeger LeCoultre from an AD. I don't know if Jaeger still has ADs or if it's just, I think now they're only boutiques. So if you had to pay, and the boutiques don't discount. So we'll talk about the money aspect and whether I would do that or not. So, but anyway, fantastic watch, right? It introduces the X Factor, that rectangular case. Either you go Cartier or you go Jaeger or both. Jaeger a bit more sporty. At the origin, it's a sporty watch, but with a dual face, obviously you can't. They both neither is protected. Super classic, and I can tell he has a penchant for slightly smaller size watches, and great choice, very different with the numerals as well, and manual wine, I suppose. On the strap, that's your dress watch, but it's still a bit sporty. It's cool, it's casual, and it's dress at the same time. That's a super compliment. And then, yeah, your AD came through for you with the Bad Girl. Wow, what a wonderful piece. And um, yeah, in terms of the mix of watches, the complications, it was just perfect. And the blue ties in with the blue of the Chronomaster. I like it. I like it a lot. You know, whether you get that or the Pepsi. The Pepsi is the more popular one, but this one here in your collection just visually looks fantastic. And yeah, your AD really came through. Mine here in Hong Kong never came through for me. For well, at the end of the day, it's just a fairly simple steel sports watch, but. Yeah, very nice and a beautiful progression. So I'm guessing, yeah, at least you bought the Tudor and the two Rolex at the same AD, and your AD is doing good by you. So there we have five super watches. Then you get the Moser here, which is the Moser Pioneer Center Second 40 millimeter. I'm guessing it's going to wear quite big with a bigger blue fumedal. And I have to say, one Moser is one of my least. It wasn't one of the brands I'm least attracted to. I did have a few of them in my hands. And this model in particular is one that I like the least. I just don't like this slightly sporty look on their fume dial. You know, fume dial, it started for them as just a bizarre client request, and it was so popular that they decided to do more, and it became basically their shtick. And usually I don't like their very empty dials, but I will give the brand and its CEO that yeah, they're building a real empire, a real big watchmaking pole, and they can build everything. You know, they have a precision engineering to do the movements, down to the hairspring. They collaborate also with great watchmakers, and most recently they have the Agenograph from Agenor, the beautiful automatic chronographs that masks the winding rotor under the dial. Just fantastic piece of watchmaking and engineering. And yeah, the Streamliner also integrated bracelet, very special looking, and a very beautiful object. Not something that I would want to really wear, but I feel that I feel like there's always going to be something else until it reaches really the core ID, the one that really will hit the spot, and that you're always going to be left behind with whatever you choose. For even the Streamliner, they just did another one that I think has an even better dial, and now has a micro rotor. And so if I had just bought the one with a central rotor, I would kind of feel a bit miffed, I suppose. But yeah, Anyway, a while back when I was looking at calendars, I looked at their perpetual calendar, but I thought it was just wearing too big, and many of their watches were too big. And looking at your other watches, I'm pretty sure that it's going to wear bigger than the Rolex GMT. I'm not sure why you went there. You know, you don't tell me in your mail, but if we look at this from a third party, as you're asking me to take a look at this, I suppose you wanted this X factor. I think already the reverso. I mean, imagine if somebody came up with that design now, people would go nuts for this reversing watch, right? And it came out so many so many decades ago. It already has that X factor, but it's not enough anymore in this day and age. So you want to go more X after having ticked all the right boxes, right? The Black Bay, the Explorer, the Zenith chronograph, the GMT, the Reverso. It's like almost you're doing the collection by default, and someone's going to say in the comment, oh, it's so boring, it's just doing the same collection as everybody else. But I'd rather, I always like to hit the classics first, get the classics before going a bit crazy, and there's many questionable choices in my own collection. I'm sure we all have different tastes, as I say. But here, yeah, you love it. It's great. Maybe among the Mosers, it's my least favorite, and I would not buy Moser just quite yet. And I certainly would not buy it new. And I hope your AD gave you 30% off. So let's talk about this now. Nico only wants to buy brand new, which is fine, because brand new, the whole life cycle of your watch. I buy brand new, I buy used, I buy very used, I buy sometimes without box papers if I find the right deal, if the price is in the condition, and then I know that I might have to service it and might have to service it right away in some cases, and it's happened to me recently, and I don't worry about it 1 second. I know it when I purchase it, but it's not for everybody. I totally understand that you don't necessarily want that hassle, and you want to know how you treated your watch. Sometimes you buy a used watch, maybe the guy just played golf with it, and it's still running well, and then 2 weeks later, it's losing 5 minutes a day. And also, the experience of buying new, but the reality of it is that if you pay 10,000 for a watch, the cost for the brand all in is 3,000. The rest is the distribution. You're paying for the AD, for the fancy location, for the guy in a suit that's BSing you to buy the watch, and he barely even knows the watch in many cases. There are some great guys at ADs, but not some guys not so great, and they just know nothing about the watches. And in that case, why am I paying so much? And that's why a brand like Moser, I would say even GLC, Zenith, I'd rather buy second hand from a collector that takes good care of his watches. Just has too many watches, for example. I think it's something you maybe you should consider because you're just 35. You already have two Rolex and an expensive Zenith. Wow, I wouldn't pay full sticker, and hopefully you didn't for the GLC and the Moser, because out the door you've lost 40% if you don't like the watch and want to resell it. But I'm sure you know that. I'm just saying it for the benefit of everyone who's watching this and building up a collection, and probably likes your collection, because that's the first watches you would think about if you want to build a perfect collection. Now, moving on a little bit, Nico says he's looking at a couple of watches, a 37mm blue dial AP Royal Oak. Yes, fantastic, because if you have a smaller wrist, 37 will wear like a 3940, perfect size. I got a 36 even on my fairly good size wrist is wearable. 37, sorry, cool. Getting a blue dial, not easy. White dial, pretty much no problem. So that's only at AP boutiques. There's no AD anymore. So best of luck to you. I know a guy who got his 37mm, his first watch at AP, but it was the white dial, which is beautiful. So maybe you can get yours as well. And if you get that watch with the blue dial, I mean, sell the Moser, because I don't see those two blue dials in your collection. I don't see. I think it's going to be too much. Um, yeah, the AP would be fantastic. Fragile watches, be careful. They're not tank tough, but you got the Rolex and the Black Bay for the sportier activities. Very cool choice. And then for a really nice classy dress watch, you're talking about a rose gold 1815 up down by Longer. Yes, love it, fantastic. If it's the same AD where you buy your other watches, that's gonna get you on the way for a Daytona. At which point, maybe sell the Zenith. Beautiful Zenith, I love it. It is more original than the Daytona. Uh, not saying by any means that you should sell it, but yeah, maybe it's gonna, if it's the same AD, which is one of the good reasons, by the way, I needed to mention of buying new, is that if you're buying everything at the same place from the same guy, especially in a small town, that's amazing, because at least you get your you get your spending up, and he will put in a good word and work for you to get your next hard to get piece, limited edition something, or a Rolex. And yeah, you're asking me where to go next. Well, I think, yeah, you wanted the X Factor with the Moser. If you can get the Royal Oak, I think it should take the place of the Moser, unless you love the Moser. Personally, it does nothing for me, and I don't think it's going to be like a long-term classic in any way. Um, Not that one in particular from Moser. While all your other watches are classics, in 50 years, people will still desire them. Royal Oak, better choice, longer, unbelievable, great brand. Up down is great. They have the zero reset, so when you pull the crown, the I believe it has the zero reset, and the second should go back to 12. You have the power reserve, and at the back it looks as good as any other 1815 with a quarter plate. Actually has a couple of extra little islands within the quarter plates, so it makes it a bit more special, and the size is very good. It's pretty. It's a small size, I think 37 millimeter. Um, Really a great choice. And but I think those two, the Rilo, the I don't know how, I think IT pays well, right? But the economy is not that good for, and it's gonna hurt everyone. Um, yeah, take it slow, right? If you can get a longer and a an AP, wow, what a complete collection, tasteful collection. I think the longer would really elevate it to and it's a great choice, because it's really a choice. The longer 1815, it's not something you're gonna see in every collection. Yours so far is very measured, ticks all the boxes of a classic collection. The longer gives it a beautiful, classy edge. Even the Royal Oak is just a bit cliche now, right? And you're sort of hitting all the cliches, but there's nothing wrong with that. And I like to do the same. I like to have all the sort of the cliche watches, and there's a reason why it's cliche. It's because they're the best. They're the best at what they do, and if somebody wants to do better, go ahead. For example, Moser tries to do something different, and that's what you saw in that watch. uh, to each his own, of course. Um, do I Would I recommend something else in particular? Well, maybe if you want to have fun with the independence, would like to add maybe a micro rotor. I would say, why not the smaller size trilobe or trilobe, with a different type of display of the time, something unusual, beautiful case in person. You will really, really like it. There's a 40 and a 38 millimeter, or 42 and 38.5. And I think that one it's something that would really please you. And there's different dial colors. I like the sand color, the dunes, the most, but they also do different blues. And the price is reasonable. It's around 10,000 US. Uh, that's one that comes to mind because I recently met the founder of the brand, and I've seen the watches, and I really like them. Um, that would be something quite cool for something that gives a bit of eccentricity to the collection, and so you won't look at your collection and think, "Oh, I have too much of the same watches as everybody else." Something like that doesn't have to be that brand in particular, but maybe an independent that already has a bit of a proven track record that people like a lot. And yeah, one I think actually, since we're talking Blue Dial, Royal Oak, the one I just picked up, the annual calendar 36 millimeter, that would be right up your alley, something to consider. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Let Nico what you think about his collection. Thanks, Nico, for sharing it. You've done really well. Keep on working on your AD. Work your way up to a Daytona. Maybe you won't get the steel, but I think a two tone, definitely those will become available. And adding a two tone. Daytona, that could be maybe with a champagne dial or the white dial or the black dial. All three are cool. That could be a nice crowning of your Rolex journey, because at the end of the day, you need watches that work and that don't let you down, and Rolex never lets you down. Thank you guys for watching. Thanks, Nico. Hope you get the Royal Oak of your dreams, and the longer. It's a wonderful, wonderful choice. Bye bye, guys.